Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we are unpacking a quiet story that has started a very loud conversation. The renewed proximity of Cemre and Gökberk after the conclusion of their series Rewritten. When the finale aired, most viewers expected the two leads to scatter towards separate productions and fresh publicity cycles. Instead, weeks later, digital breadcrumbs have drawn them into the same frame again, not on a decorated set, but inside a private fitness club on the European side of Istanbul. One innocuous training clip has expanded into a full-blown theory map, and fans want to know whether we are witnessing coincidence, calculation, or the first steps of a reconciliation. Over the next 10 mornings, a rhythm emerged. Her story would appear first, stretching with resistance bands. Minutes later, his plyometric jumps framed by the identical wall-mounted clock. A distinctive gray foam roller migrated from the background of one clip to the edge of the other. An Apple Watch belonging to the resident trainer flashed briefly in both feeds. Neither actor so much as liked the other's material. That silence acted like oxygen. Viewers filled it with narrative. Were they simply two professionals who purchased the same membership? Or had they chosen neutral territory where trust could be rebuilt far from microphones? Historically, Gökberk has not cultivated a fitness transformation persona. During this series, he leaned on easy, almost bohemian charisma. The sudden discipline, carefully portioned meals, controlled lifting, even beginner kickboxing drills suggests either a demanding new role or heightened personal motivation. Romantic supporters interpret every repetition as a wordless promise that he has matured. Practical observers counter that an international streaming platform is casting an action-leaning limited series, and he would be foolish not to prepare. Both readings can sit side by side without canceling each other. Cemre's shift echoes that duality. The characters that made her famous invited audience protection. Now she projects authorship. In a recent printed interview, she mentioned laying a foundation before I say yes to foreign offers. Combat work accelerates that image. It is also structurally intimate. One person holds the pad, the other strikes, timing negotiated breath by breath. For two former colleagues navigating unresolved feelings, the gym provides rules, supervision and forward motion, a therapeutic triangle. Naturally, a catalog of so-called micro-clues has emerged. A slender new wrist tattoo glimpse beneath Cemre's wrap appears when rotated like the initials GY. A miniature key dangling from Gökberk's backpack resembles merchandise from a yoga retreat she promoted last spring. A mutual friend briefly posted and deleted an encouraging round 2. Proud of you both. None of these fragments constitutes proof. Together, however, they form the scaffolding of a modern folktale assembled by thousands of scrolling detectives who would rather participate than passively consume. Adding fuel to the speculation is a third presence, another actor from the Rewritten ensemble. Recently, Ray followed both accounts after months of social media silence and wrote, "Early mornings again. Only this time no script supervisor." Some interpret the message as playful blessing. Others think it foreshadows a coordinated commercial campaign, sportswear, nutraceuticals, maybe a streaming workout app, in which a reunion narrative conveniently boosts engagement statistics. Commercial logic cannot be ignored, nostalgia moves product. Yet the restrained tone of their post feels less like advertising copy, and more like two people carefully protecting something still delicate. It is useful to remember how audience pressure operates. When a fictional pairing becomes beloved, viewers often attempt to prolong the chemistry by scripting an unsanctioned sequel in real life. The performers are then presented with three options: publicly feed the expectation, disappear, or occupy a middle space. Months of distance after the finale looked like option 2. Shared exercise without commentary looks like the third. Routine, rather than a press conference, does the talking. Could an explicit reunion, romantic or professional, emerge from this? Possibly. Physical exertion lowers defenses. Conversation slips out between sets, when attention is divided between breath and balance. If past wounds existed, repetition and shared fatigue might soften them. Conversely, they may simply be pragmatic adults exploiting a high-quality facility at overlapping times. Fans demanding declarations may need to practice patience. Genuine resolutions rarely follow the weekly tempo of trending tags. Meanwhile, both careers continue to pivot. Cemre has begun filming a sharp corporate melodrama. Early stills reveal structured blazers replacing the soft silhouettes of her previous roles. Gökberk's management has hinted at script meetings abroad and a contract clause referencing light stunt coordination. Consistent training documentation enhances market value in both cases. Even if nothing personal is rekindled, the renewed attention has lifted their names during a quiet programming window. Free publicity that no agency would reject. Not everyone believes the sightings are organic. Media analysts point out the tidy escalation. First one isolated video, then mirrored props, then a tertiary colleague hinting from the sidelines. This drip feed mirrors familiar marketing arcs. If a joint endorsement appears within the month, retrospective cries of planned will feel justified. If nothing commercial materializes, that vacuum will only deepen the romantic reading. In either scenario, the audience writes itself into the plot, which is precisely why the story keeps breathing. For now, the only verified fact is simple. Two former leads occupy adjacent corners of a gym, dedicating time to improvement. Everything else, secret dinners, second chances, strategic seating, lives inside the imaginative space fans build when official statements remain absent. Perhaps that imaginative space is a real engine preserving the legacy of Ruse Carly Teep. Long after the cameras shut down, a short detour into history helps explain the intensity of the response. During the height of the show's success, the pair's behind-the-scenes clips circulated internationally, with fan subtitles. Their ease, share jokes between takes, the way one would automatically adjust the other's microphone wire, created the impression of a bond deeper than contract obligation. When filming wrapped and scheduled appearances stopped, that informal intimacy evaporated overnight, leaving a vacuum. The gym material pours something back into that empty container. Even the outline of a connection feels satisfying to long-term supporters. Reaction threads illustrate the divide. Some commenters caution against invasive speculation and emphasize professional boundaries. Others openly root for a romantic sequel, arguing that adulthood allows people to reassess emotional timing. A smaller, more skeptical cohort insists both actors deserve narratives not permanently tethered to a past project. Interestingly, those three groups still interact civilly, a rarity in digital fan culture, perhaps because the principals themselves have refused to weaponize the situation. If a clearer answer arrives, it may not take the form fans expect. Instead of an instant confirmation, we could see a slow integration, a neutral group photo, a joint charitable appearance, maybe eventually a carefully negotiated script that places them together while acknowledging the passage of time. Or, equally plausible, nothing public will happen, and this chapter will dissolve once filming schedules diverge. Ambiguity, while frustrating, is also sustainable. It allows the audience to continue imagining without either actor promising more than they can deliver. Whatever the outcome, the episode demonstrates how modern celebrity functions. Image management now includes calculated silence, and fans become collaborative authors. Whether the story resolves as partnership, friendship, or parallel independence, the disciplined way both parties have handled scrutiny already distinguishes them within an industry often fueled by impulsive posts. For now, we watch, we speculate, and we let the weight plates and timer bells provide the only soundtrack. So, what do you think? Are we witnessing the patient reconstruction of something once fragile? Or projecting longing onto overlapping mats and mirrored walls? Share respectful theories below. Your perspective helps shape what we explore next. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, and tap the notification bell so you never miss an update. If you would like to support the channel further, you can click the join button underneath this video. Until next time, take care of yourselves and see you soon.